Lately, I've been obsessed. And this new obsession has created a new drug for my creative brain. And I find myself constantly researching until I find something interesting that gives me an idea. Then all of a sudden I found myself suddenly getting hooked in this thing called lighting. Something that I really became interested in because one of my dreams is to become the best cinematographer in Africa, then eventually the world. But I understood that to achieve that dream, I needed to learn, study, and understand the concept of lighting. In my early years of my career, I was more focused on composition, lenses, and camera movement. I picked up a gimbal for every single shot, and I always used autofocus. Until one day, I came across this guy that said this.
But you have to keep in mind that at some point, you're gonna jump to a real cinema camera. They don't have even stabilized sensor. Blackmagic? Nope. Arri Alexa? Nope. And they don't have autofocus either. And the most beautiful lenses on the market right now, guys, they don't have autofocus. They're not stabilized lenses. If I show up tomorrow in LA on a Samsung commercial and I ask, hey, can I have my autofocus camera? They're gonna fire me. Hey, do you have a stabilized sensor, like a camera with a stabilized? They're gonna fire me.
After watching that video, I sold my number one filmmaking asset, the gimbal, and replaced it with a rig. Because if I had kept the gimbal, I would have went back to using autofocus, and I would have never have taken Matteo's advice. I spent a full month learning how to shoot handheld and learning how to stabilize footage without a gimbal or a tripod. I had to do that because I needed to make space in my brain and fully focus on lighting and composition, and not worry whether the motors of the gimbal are gonna fail out or not. And then I started a lighting challenge. This challenge will see me create mini lighting tutorials every day where I show the final setup and explain how I got the lighting and which lighting gear I used. After 1 month of consistent daily uploads, I finally figured it out. I now understand how to create cinematic lighting. Lighting that now makes my recent work look like paintings. But this was no easy task because in order for me to have changed and improved, I needed to change my environment and be in a space that would have allowed me to easily tap into my state of flow. Home. I rarely ever light from scratch. I always shoot with motivated lighting within the location that I found. There's already like a globe which is coming from outside there, hitting through the window here. So now it's on the warm side. I just wanna make it cooler. So I like this much more. It gives us more room to work with, a little bit of flexibility in how we're gonna shape our lighting. Okay, so I'm looking for a red crate, only because everything else in there is like black, neutral colors. I just need something with a pop of color just to stand out a little bit. Change of plans. I need the light that side. I'm gonna be using this as our only key light, no longer having a light hitting from outside the window. So the scene was lacking interest. So what I'm gonna do now is to actually backlight the scene, and I'm gonna be using the tube light, which initially was outside hitting the window. After 2 hours, we have finally gotten our setup. It's basically a 3-light setup. We are ready to start shooting our lighting reel. But of course, I ran into a problem. Consistency. Asking myself, how do I keep the momentum going? How do I keep sharpening the skill? Because I cannot use client projects to practice. I needed to do what most creative people are afraid to do: find and talk to people. Luckily, I'm surrounded by a community of amazing people that have always believed in my visions and goals and always pumped to collaborate with me to create awesome work. After a while, I started to see massive improvement in my lighting techniques that massively increased the production quality of my work. And now, it was time for the real test. applying my newly found creative drag on real client projects, which unfortunately I cannot share online on my personal channel. But if you must know, I'm mad at them all. This inevitably caused my calendar to be filled with a lot of bookings. But in this stage, it is very important to keep experimenting and never give a chance for the newly found skill to rust. Hey, this is a 2-light setup. The key is shooting through a softbox. There are 5 lights used in this shot. We have the harsh key light. Then our key is shooting through a huge umbrella. We have the street light. We are using it as a practical light, no artificial light, straight natural. For our key light, we are using natural lighting from the heavens above.